Before there were apps, before there was the internet, before there were screens, there was only raw electricity and human imagination. Welcome to the evolution of code. In this video, we will trace the lineage of every digital experience you have ever had back to its source. 20 languages, 7 decades, one unbroken chain of innovation that built a modern world. This is not just a history lesson, it is the origin story of everything you touch today. It started in 1957 with Fortran, created by John Backus at IBM. Before this breakthrough, programmers were forced to write raw machine code by hand. Fortran was revolutionary because it finally let humans write mathematical formulas that a computer could actually understand and execute. For over 6 decades, it has remained the backbone of supercomputers, powering everything from NASA's orbital trajectory simulations to complex global weather forecasting models. It proved definitively that code could be both immensely powerful and genuinely readable. Just 2 years later, Grace Hopper helped create COBOL. While Fortran handled science, COBOL was built exclusively for business data processing. Its syntax was intentionally designed to read like plain English, making it accessible to non-engineers and accountants. Today, despite being over 60 years old, COBOL still silently processes trillions of dollars in banking transactions and government payroll systems worldwide. It is quite literally the invisible, irreplaceable engine of the modern global economy. As hardware evolved rapidly, so did the critical need for direct control. Assembly language emerged in the 1960s as the essential bridge between human logic and silicon chips. It provides a perfect one-to-one mapping with machine instructions, giving programmers absolute, granular power over memory and processors. Even today, when you first boot up your computer, it is assembly running the BIOS. Every device driver and embedded system still relies fundamentally on this low-level mastery. In 1972, Dennis Ritchie at Bell Labs changed computing forever with C. It gave developers the blistering speed of assembly combined with the portability of a high-level language. C became the absolute foundation of all modern operating systems. Unix, Linux, Windows kernels, they are all written entirely in C. If you have ever used a smartphone, a laptop, or browsed the web, you have directly interacted with code written in C. It remains the undisputed gold standard for system programming. By the mid-70s, computers were generating massive amounts of structured data. Donald Chamberlain at IBM created SQL specifically to solve this problem. Instead of writing complex nested loops to find information, SQL lets you simply ask for it declaratively. Select all customers from New York. That simple approach became the universal language of relational databases. Every time you log into an app, stream a song, or check your bank balance, SQL is quietly retrieving your data in milliseconds. Bjarne Stroustrup took C and added something transformative: object-oriented programming. C++ gave developers the ability to model real-world complexity through classes and inheritance, without sacrificing any raw performance. This powerful combination made it the undisputed king of high-performance software development. Unreal Engine, Chrome, Photoshop, and high-frequency trading platforms all run on C++. Larry Wall created Perl with a philosophy that would influence generations of developers. There's more than one way to do it. Perl became the original glue language of the early internet, completely dominating text processing and system administration throughout the 90s. It powered the web's first CGI scripts and became absolutely essential in bioinformatics for parsing massive genetic datasets. While its mainstream popularity has faded, Perl's DNA lives on directly in Python, Ruby, and JavaScript. Guido van Rossum designed Python around a radical idea: code should be as readable as pseudocode. For years it was merely a niche scripting language, but then the AI revolution arrived. Python's simplicity made it the perfect interface for complex machine learning libraries. Today, it powers Instagram's backend, Spotify's recommendations, Google search, and virtually every major AI model. From simple automation to cutting-edge artificial intelligence, Python is the most versatile language in existence. James Gosling at Sun Microsystems introduced Java with a promise that seemed impossible: write once, run anywhere. Java's virtual machine abstracted away hardware differences, making it the ultimate enterprise language. It became the foundation of Android, powering billions of mobile devices globally. Big data frameworks like Hadoop and Spark are built entirely on Java. In corporate environments worldwide, Java remains the reliable, battle-tested workhorse that keeps critical infrastructure running smoothly. Brendan Eich famously created JavaScript in just 10 days at Netscape. Originally meant only for simple form validation, it unexpectedly became the dominant language of the entire web. With Node.js, JavaScript broke free from the browser and conquered server-side development too. Today, it runs Netflix's UI, Uber's backend, and Discord's real-time chat. JavaScript is the only language that runs natively in every web browser on Earth. Rasmus Villerdorf created PHP as a set of tools to track visitors on his personal website. It accidentally became the primary engine of the internet. PHP powers WordPress, which currently runs over 40% of all websites. Facebook was originally built entirely in PHP. Wikipedia, Etsy, and Slack's early versions all relied heavily on it. Despite constant criticism, PHP democratized web development, allowing anyone with a cheap hosting plan to build dynamic websites. Yukihiro Matsumoto designed Ruby with developer happiness as the primary goal. He wanted programming to feel natural, expressive, and joyful. The Ruby on Rails framework that followed revolutionized web development by emphasizing convention over configuration. GitHub, Shopify, Airbnb, and Stripe were all originally built on Rails. Ruby proved that elegant, highly expressive code could also be incredibly productive, influencing countless modern frameworks we use today. Lua was designed to be tiny, fast, and easily embeddable. At just a few hundred kilobytes, it became used by game developers worldwide. Roblox uses Lua for its entire user scripting ecosystem. World of Warcraft's add-on system is powered by Lua. Angry Birds, Geek's web server, and even Adobe Lightroom use it internally. Lua proves that sometimes the smallest languages have the biggest impact. Google engineers Robert Griesimer, Rob Pike, and Ken Thompson created Go to solve modern problems, slow builds, complex dependencies, and inefficient concurrency. Go's deliberate simplicity is its greatest superpower. Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, and Twitch's streaming infrastructure are all built on Go. It became the definitive language of cloud-native computing, proving that you do not need complex features to build massively scalable systems. Gredin Howard Mozilla created Rust to solve C++'s greatest weakness, memory safety bugs. Rust guarantees memory safety at compile time without requiring garbage collection overhead. Firefox's core rendering engine was rewritten in Rust, eliminating entire categories of security vulnerabilities. Microsoft and AWS are now rewriting critical infrastructure in Rust. It represents the future of systems programming, safe, fast, and fearless. JetBrains created Kotlin to fix Java's verbosity while maintaining full backward compatibility. Google declared it the preferred language for Android development in 2019. Kotlin's null safety, coroutines, and concise syntax make mobile development faster and significantly less error-prone. Beyond Android, Kotlin powers Spring Boot backends and Gradle build scripts. It is the modern, streamlined evolution of the JVM ecosystem. Microsoft's Anders Hejlsberg added static types to JavaScript, creating TypeScript. What started as widespread skepticism quickly became the industry standard. TypeScript catches bugs before code even runs, making large-scale applications maintainable. VS Code, Angular, Slack, and Airbnb's Fortran are all TypeScript. It transformed JavaScript from a chaotic scripting language into a robust engineering tool, enabling teams to build confidently at massive scale. Chris Lettner at Apple created Swift to replace Objective-C's decades-old syntax. Swift combines safety, speed, and modern language features seamlessly. Every iOS, Mac OS, Watch OS, and Vision Pro app is built with Swift. Its playful name reflects its design philosophy. Programming should be swift, safe, and expressive. Swift represents Apple's unwavering commitment to keeping their ecosystem at the cutting edge of language design. Google's Dart powers Flutter, enabling beautiful cross-platform apps for BMW, Toyota, and Alibaba from a single code base. Andrew Kelly's Zig aims to be a simpler, safer successor to C, already powering the Bund runtime and Tiger Beetle database. And that brings us to the present moment. 20 languages, 7 decades, each one solved a problem, opened a door, and paved the way for the next. The evolution of code isn't finished, it is accelerating. What language will define the next decade? That is entirely up to you.